And that's exactly how Kentucky felt like last week when we played Duke. We were in the rain, shedding tears, crying for joy, crying out for misery, whatever. Chris Hill, how were you suffering that Duke loss a couple weeks ago?
I'm still crying, dude. I'm still crying. I mean, I wanted us to win that game really bad. I mean, we all did. But this Zion kid is for real.
Yeah, he is getting comparisons to LeBron James. I believe there's a nickname going around right now called Prince Zion for those of you that are into all the hype. But just looking at I really think he's going to be a great player. People are saying that R.J. Barrett might be better than he is, or is better than he is. But my eyes are telling me that Zion is just a man among men right now.
Yeah.
So
Zion is easily the best player in college basketball right now, hands down.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
I really feel like Kentucky definitely missed out on that recruit last year.
Yes, we did.
So Chris, you aren't in studio here today. We are doing show remote because we had a little ice storm last night.
A little.
First things first, how are you doing? Do you have power? Do you have heat at the house?
I do have power, and I do have heat.
We're have heat, good. But the air is still blowing through the windows, huh?
yeah, just a little bit, man. No, I'm doing good out here in my neck of the woods. It's I watched the news earlier, and they were talking about more snow flurries tonight. So we may wake up in the morning with a couple inches of snow on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, here in southern Indiana, I just got my power turned on back about an hour ago, but I'm looking across the street here, and the neighbors are still out. So hopefully everybody is safe that is listening to us tonight or tomorrow, whenever you're listening to us. We definitely do appreciate you guys, and all stay safe. And also, last week we missed a show because Chris Hill decided to hit a deer on the way here.
Oh man! So get this, I am an avid outdoorsman. I love to hunt. I love to fish. Those are two of my favorite hobbies, and I have yet to get a chance to get in the woods this year. And all my friends were like, they're ragging on me because they're posting all these pictures on Facebook of their nice big deer and stuff and all this stuff. Well, I hit and I hate it. I hate it because it kind of went to waste. But I hit like a really small button buck, and I still feel horrible about hitting him. But he took out like half the grill of my truck and my bumper and a headlight and a bunch of other stuff, which, I mean, yeah, it's replaceable, but I can say that I did not go empty-handed this year. I did kill something.
There we go. So, just to help pay for Chris Hill's refurbish of his truck here, be sure to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the Big Blue Breakdown channel. And if you're listening to us on podcast format, be sure he'll go ahead and follow that podcast as well. The more listens we get, that more it helps us, the more it helps us grow. But let me tell you a little story about my little deer incident, Chris.
Oh Lord. Okay, I wasn't really going that fast when I hit mine, man. I think I was doing like 50, and I kind of saw him coming, right. And I slowed down enough I was doing maybe 40 when I hit him, but I still hit him hard enough to kill him and to kind of kill half my truck. But were you like cruising when you hit your deer?
Yeah, we were cruising about 65. So let me give you a little backstory here. So where we hunt deer back in Kansas, we like push the draws and stuff. There's usually about 10 or 12 of us, and we have people that push the draws and people that block us, and stuff, and then shoot the deer as they come out. Apparently that's not big in Kentucky or Indiana. You all like to sit in stands all day.
Yes, we do.
We like to push deer, get in the thicket of things. Well, this particular day, there's only 4 of us. It was me and my uncles, and we didn't see nothing all day. Literally, I think we saw maybe 3 or 4 quail. It was just an overall bad hunting day, period. So we went out to eat, and we started to head home, and we're heading home. Doing about 55, 60 on the highway. There's 3 deer standing in the middle of the road. We didn't have time to stop. Killed all 3 of them, right? and we're like, well, shoot, we all have tags. They they definitely expire here in like a week or so. So
Might as well use them, huh?
yeah, we harvest the deer. We threw the tags on them and threw in the back of the truck and towed towed the other car home because that truck was pretty much totaled. So
Oh yeah.
but yeah, that was a good times. Good times.
I mean, dude, I always tell my friends that if you miss a deer shooting it with a gun or a bow or whatever, just put a horn and some lights on your bullet and they'll run right into it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
my sister has had the worst luck with deer. We actually lived in the country, and our driveway S turned through some trees and like up into the house, and she was literally parked, and a deer ran into her car, and it and it totaled out her car from being parked.
That's just shitty. That's just shitty luck, man. That's bad.
To this day, my dad has that little antler off of the deer, and he puts it in her car every now and then just because.
That's a good dad right there. Always reminding the kids to be careful.
Right. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get on to today's show here. For those of you that don't know, Kentucky did play last night on Wednesday. They played North Dakota Fighting Hawks. We ended up winning 96-58. It was pretty much one-sided since the tip of the game. It was 4 or 5 minutes into the game, I kind of caught myself zoning out because we were up by 15 or 16 points at that time. Just to go through the starters and their stats real fast. Reed Travis had 21 minutes with 11 points. PJ had 17 minutes with 25 points. Had a really great night. Johnson had 34 minutes with 12 points. Quigley 27 minutes with 12 points. And Tyler Hero 25 minutes with 18 points. Just a notable coming off the bench. EJ had 8 points for 26 minutes. One thing that's kind of surprised me a little bit is Quade Green not getting a lot of playing time. Only 16 minutes with 16 points. Our fellow co-host here, Chris, he actually wrote a pretty good article in a few Facebook pages that we are a part of, and he was referring to the point guard play, the one with why Quade and Tyler Hero just aren't playing that great right now, and his thoughts were, when you have two good point guards, you have no point guards. Like, what are your thoughts on that, Chris? Like, do you kind of agree what he's saying there?
I mean, I kind of do, but I kind of do, but I kind of don't. Honestly, man, Tyler. I mean, we talked this kid up. Like, I know I did,
right?
And
yeah.
I was ready to jump on this kid's bandwagon and ride it all year long. Because I mean, this guy, his upside is crazy. He can shoot the three ball. He's a great guard. I don't know if we have too many chickens or too many roosters in the chicken coop or what's going on. I mean, I don't really know, but he surprised me. I mean, the Duke game was not relevant. Our second game of the season, when we played, who did we play? I mean, we blew them out. It was
can't remember now, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, he was flat in that game. I mean, last night he showed what he could do. Yes, it was against a team that probably none of us have ever heard of.
It was Indiana, Pennsylvania is who you're referring to, I do believe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But I mean, he's not. I don't know if it's because this team's young and they haven't really played that much together, or what. I don't know if the team chemistry is bad or what's going on. But he did not come out of the blocks running like we all thought he would. He's getting plenty of playing time. I don't think that's I don't think that's the issue. I mean, he's just. I don't know if like the pressure is maybe getting to him or what. I don't know if the pressure is getting to any of these kids. I mean, you can't really tell. That Duke game. I mean, the first 5 minutes of that game. I mean, every Kentucky fan had their head in their hands. They were doing the surrender cobra. I mean, it was bad. Me personally, that the first 5 minutes of that game, I knew it was over. I mean, I knew there was no chance that we were going to beat Duke.
There was zero heart shown on that court that night from
absolutely none.
Yeah.
You're right. And
maybe the only one that showed a little bit of heart was maybe Reed Travis, just because he has been in some of those lopsided losses playing with Stanford, and
right,
and like so, but like most of these kids have never been beat like that. Like just physically manhandled all game, and these last two games they're kind of getting their confidence back up a little bit, and
they are.
And there was I believe it was the weekly Cal show, and Cal basically said that he's been coaching bad. Like he hasn't been coaching the way these kids need to be coached. Like,
yeah, I read an article about that show where he was trying to take the blame and stuff for it. But I mean, honestly, man, he can only take so much of the blame. It's not like he's a bad coach. I mean, we all know that he's a great basketball coach, and he's not. I don't know if it's got to be.
And I have to disagree with you there. I don't think he's a great coach.
You don't think so?
I think he is a subpar coach. He is a great recruiter, and he gets the players where they need to go. But if you think about it, in final possession, seconds of a game, he kind of seems lost. He doesn't know what to do. Like, and take example for like Duke. Like, the Duke team was manhandling us, but what did he do to fix that? Did he shuffle the lineup up? Not really. I mean, he pretty much played the same 7 guys all like the whole game. He didn't really shuffle a lot of people up.
Right. Maybe he's still trying to figure out. I mean, who he wants where. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, that's really the only thing I could think of. He's still trying to. I mean, yeah, he's practiced with these kids, for a while now. Yes, we've had
June or whatever.
Yeah. Right, we've had preseason tourneys in Bahamas and so on and so on. But I mean, honestly, that preseason tourney in the Bahamas was more of a. I don't want to say it was more of a vacation than anything, because I mean that's basically what it was to them. They didn't play teams down there with the caliber of of Duke, of Kansas, of North Carolina.
Well, they did
teams like that.
They did play that one team from, I believe it was the Bahamas national teams. They beat down Michigan as earlier this preseason. So I mean, like those guys aren't no scrubs there. So,
well, I guess, but still, I mean, it's not this team. I mean, like you said earlier, I mean, it seems like every game, they're you can kind of see a glimpse of there's more chemistry. They can kind of read each other better. They know what certain players are going to do, so on and so forth. I think by the time we get into, like the heart of the season, the SEC games, the SEC schedule, when we get to playing, those harder teams, so on and so forth.
Auburn, LSU,
right?
Tennessee.
Then we're really going to see what this team can or cannot do. Around here, especially when it comes to college basketball, it is national championship or bust.
Yeah, 100%.
And if we're not winning national titles, people are disappointed, and so on and so on. I mean, I get that. Growing up here and being a lifelong Kentucky college basketball fan, I mean, that's kind of the thing that you expect. I don't know. I can't say confidently that this team is a national championship caliber team. I mean, honestly, this looks like the year of the Blue Devils. I hate saying that
Right,
because I'm not a Duke fan. I know that puts a big old smile on Billy's face wherever he's at.
Yeah.
If he's listening, I know he's giggling right now and saying I told you so. But man, that's fine. He can do that because Duke is a legit title contender.
But that is the magic of March Madness, man. Like,
right.
Me, like,
And that's what I was fixing to say, man.
If we were having like a 5 or 6 game series, then it would be Duke 100% of the time.
Right.
Do not get me wrong, but there could be a game where Zion gets in foul trouble, R.J. Barrett just isn't hitting shots. They can get beat by a Kansas State or a Kentucky or who did I watch last night?
Or North Carolina.
North Carolina, maybe not, but
Michigan
looked really good last night.
Yeah, and
Villanova.
I was fixing to say, man, Villanova looked super flat last night. I mean, I know they're replacing starters and blah 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 blah, but Michigan, man, they come out just guns a blazing last night, and I honestly, that was one of the teams. I mean, yeah, I'm a Michigan fan, but I thought that they were extremely disrespected with the ranking that they've got. They are a much better
really?
basketball. Oh yeah, man, they are a much better basketball team than people are giving them credit for, and last night showed it. Last night definitely showed it.
So
really, man, there are a couple teams in the Big Ten that are going to surprise some people. Indiana last night played great. They got that
I
kid.
called that game last night.
That kid from New Albany,
Romeo.
Yeah, man, that guy is a hell of a basketball player. I mean, Indiana's going to surprise some people this year. I don't think Michigan State is going to be what everybody thinks they're going to be this year.
Izzo always has them in the right format when it comes to turn
when it comes time for March.
Yeah.
You're right.
Every time he's at 8 or 9 or 10 seed, he ends up in the Final Four. So,
but yeah, man. I mean, like you said, you're basically playing to get to March.
Right.
And honestly, man, nowadays it does not matter if you're seeded 1st or 16th.
Right.
Anybody,
the parity and the NCAA basketball now is just because these all these kids are playing at a high level since they're 8 or 9 years old. So me and they all can't go to Duke. They all can't go to Kentucky. So that is why you get your Chicago of Iola or your whoever else.
Your George Washingtons, your
Right.
Davidsons,
Right.
yeah.
But you brought up the Villanova game last night. If you guys listen to Just for Clicks, that is my own personal show that I have. I actually had Villanova beating Michigan last night, and boy, was I wrong on that game. But check this out. This is the first time in 105 games Villanova has lost by more than 10 points.
Yep.
Wrap your head around that. 105 games. That is what, 4.5 seasons?
Just about.
3.5
roughly.
seasons? Yeah.
Yeah, roughly.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean they have been playing. I mean they've been one of the class programs of the last 4 to 5 years, definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, what, 2 titles in the last 4 years, 3 years, something like that. I mean,
really not for sure, to be honest with you, man. Like I have so much stats going in my mind that sometimes championships just slip my mind. Honestly.
You are the stat man.
Yeah, I do like keeping those numbers because numbers never lie.
That's right. They never lie.
But as Kentucky gets loaded up for Sunday versus VMI Cadets on Sunday.
Sunday.
And, they're another team that Kentucky should handle pretty well. They have it's a 97.7% chance of winning this game on the Kentucky side. What are you kind of looking forward to this game, Chris? Like, what do you want to see moving forward till we get to the Thanksgiving break and beyond here? Like, what needs to happen in your eyes?
Okay, well, what we were talking about earlier, guard play. I mean, we've got like what, 5, 6, 12. I mean, it seems to be an infinite number of guards on this team. I mean, we need to find our 2 guards that we are going to stick with for a majority of the season. I didn't think guard play would be an issue at all at the beginning of the year. Did
Yeah.
not think it would be an issue. And like we alluded to with Tyler, I want to see. I really want to see this guy step up and be the player that we know he can be. His potential is crazy upside. I don't. Maybe he's just nervous, man. Maybe. I mean, because some of these kids are not used to. I mean, they're used to playing on big stages, but I mean, we're talking Rump Arena, Kentucky basketball. This isn't AAU ball. This isn't some tournament, high school tournament, some kind of state tournament. None of that, man. It's not that. This is as big as it gets before you get to the NBA, basically. And you got to handle it a certain way. If you can handle it a certain way and get, the butterflies out of the way and just not even think about that and just play ball. I mean, I just want to see this guy go out and play ball. Reed Travis, or Travis Reed, or whatever the hell his name is. He's been probably, like, him and PJ have been the two shining stars, I guess you could say, this year. We didn't really we knew PJ was going to be good. I mean, and he's definitely lived up to the hype and the potential. But Travis, man, he's not used to playing on a big stage like this either. I mean, yeah, he played at Stanford, but Stanford's not really known for their basketball.
And
he's
but I think Reed Travis has been really the only staple of the team that, like, he has been consistent. Like, he hasn't had like one awesome game and then just fell off.
Right.
I mean, like, yes, it's a very small sample size of 3 games and 2 versus really no name opponents that you should do well against, but still, like, he's been pretty. I'm going to give you 10 points. 10 boards every game, and
I was going to say he's becoming that player that we can basically guarantee that he's going to get us 10 to 15 points,
right,
5-6 boards. I mean, he's going to be that caliber, that style player. And another thing that I kind of want to see and look for is we need to find 2 or 3 more guys like that. I mean, we need to get the guard thing situated. I'd like to see better chemistry,
that'd be a big issue. Is because I think we're playing like 9 players on a 9 players are averaging 15 minutes or more. So I mean, there's definitely the chemistry factor there. So
right, and I think that's why Coach Cal is doing that. He's still not really sure what he has, which is fine. I mean, that's totally fine. It's the beginning of the year. We've got time to figure that out before SEC play starts, and the important games come up. And I think that's what he's doing.
You say that, but the normal Wildcat fan here, like, they saw them struggling against IUP, and like, my own brother-in-law was kind of freaking out, like, oh my God, we suck, what the fuck, or yada yada yada. Excuse my language there, but like, Wildcat fans just sometimes just aren't very patient. Like,
you're right,
we gotta as they I'm gonna quote the 76ers here: trust the process.
That's right.
Trust our mediocre coach.
Our mediocre coach. I mean, that's part of the thing of being a Kentucky ball fan, man. That's like I said earlier, it's national championship or bust. Those are the things you're used to.
Right.
I mean, if honestly, man, if you made it through the Billy Gillespie years, thank you for sticking around, and it's only going to get better.
Right. So the one thing I would like to see, I want to see Quade Green knocking in on that starting lineup. Get him back in the lineup. Like, yes, he is a good 6-man. He's a good guy to come off the bench, but I would like to see him as a 2-guard or a 3-guard even. Yeah, I mean, like, he's not big enough to really play a 3-guard. But think about this. If you have Tyler Hero, Emmanuel Quickly, and Quade on the court at the same time with a Reed Travis and, like, EJ or Keldon Johnson, that lineup looks pretty good.
Yes, it does. That's a stout lineup, man.
Yeah. I mean, like,
And
I don't understand why Quad A isn't in the starting lineup. Like, I don't think he started last night, but versus Duke he didn't start. Versus IUP he didn't start. So, like, I'm kind of curious of like, is Cal just giving Tyler kind of like that nod because maybe Quad A isn't practicing hard or something? You know, maybe trying to open up his eyes a little bit. But
yes, yeah, I was gonna say, man, maybe that's
Yeah.
like an internal thing,
Right.
like a team internal thing that we don't really know what's going on. I mean, you never really know.
Yeah, like you don't know, but my eyes told me last year that Quad A was the leader of that team come March. I mean, there were games where he put the team on his back and willed them to win. A game that comes to mind is that West Virginia game when like we were down 17 or 20 points and we come back and won. Quad A Green won that game for us. Whether you want to say it or not, my eyes don't tell me. Yeah, maybe.
No, you're right. You're right.
But let's move on to some news here that kind of got me kind of confused. LaMelo Ball, the son of Lamar Ball, the guy who started that JBA, I believe it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But this Lamar Ball and his brother, LaAngelo, they both leave high school and college to go play overseas, to play in this professional league. I don't even know where it was at. Was it England or something?
No, I think it was like in Italy, I think.
Oh, either way, it was some professional league where they allegedly didn't get paid, but that will come further into the story. But LaMelo Ball is a senior at a private school out in California, and he is on the ESPN 5-star recruiting list, but he has mentioned Kentucky, Duke, Michigan State, and North Carolina as possible places that he wants to play college ball. But then I scratched my head. Weren't you just in Italy playing professional ball? How can you become a college athlete? Well, LeVar Ball is telling people that his son never got paid over there. He wasn't making that $100,000 that was reportedly that he was making and whatnot.
Right. That's got to be the loophole. That's the only thing that I could think of that will keep. That's got to be some kind of loophole that they're getting through.
Well, the only thing I can think of is where he didn't get paid is where they paid his dad just to keep his amateur status. Maybe.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of. But I want to ask you, would you like a person like LaMelo Ball at UK next year? Would you want to bring his, I guess, quote unquote baggage to the great state of Kentucky? You want to hear his dad talking about how bad Coach Cal is all the time and everything else.
Here's my take on that. If this kid can play ball,
which he obviously can. He's a 5-star recruit, so he's obviously not horrible.
Okay, well, if he is a good player and as good as they say he is, and so on, I would love for him to come here. But what I don't like, like his father. I cannot stand his dad.
Cindy
dad.
hates
I hate him too. I hate him too. And the only reason why I do not want this I don't want him coming here is because of the circus that his father will bring with him. I do not like that at all. His dad is going to get up on television and say all these things about how Coach Cal's playing his son wrong and how he would be doing things different and blah, blah, blah. Well, if you were so good at coaching your son and so on and so forth, that you'd be a coach yourself. And I mean, we wouldn't be in this. You wouldn't be in that predicament at all. He wouldn't have had.
Let me stop you right there. He apparently isn't a horrible coach because he has coached 3 sons. One is in the NBA. The other one was a UCLA scholarship player. Bound to be in the NBA at some point. And then he has his youngest high school son here as a 5-star recruit. and he also coaches I believe it's an AAU team. I can't think of the name of it, but they're obviously pretty good team if they're getting shown on ESPN and stuff like that. So, I mean, he's doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's doing something right, but what he's doing wrong is I don't like it. I don't like how he's so easy and so quick to get on TV and drop all these quotes about how his sons are basketball gods and all this other crap, and so on and so on.
Like how he could beat MJ on a
right, man, yeah. Right. And I mean, be for real, man. There's no way.
Well,
I mean, if his kids are as good at ball, as they say, as he thinks they are, and whatnot, I mean, then his son will take the Lakers to a title. They didn't need LeBron to come to LA to take him to a title. If his son is so good, if they were so good, then why did they go overseas and play ball for a year instead of doing the right thing, staying here, going to college? I mean, doing it the way that everybody else did it. I mean, yeah, they went overseas to make money, I guess, or to play professional ball and to get that hell, what's the word I'm looking for? To get that experience and whatnot. But I mean, I don't want this guy. That's the only reason why I don't want that kid to come to Kentucky. If he comes to Kentucky, he brings his dad. He brings all that baggage. He brings the ball circus to town, and nobody wants that, man. We are conservative basketball fans. We don't want to hear how good your kid is. I mean, we don't. I don't want to hear about how good your kid is, and so on and so on. It's not about just your kid. It's about this team. It's not ever going to be just about your kid. It's going to be about the team. That's not how Coach Cal coaches. I mean, if that's how his dad wants to be, and then he needs to go to some other school where it can just be about his kid. His kid can be the superstar and so on and so on. But that's not how it's going to be at Kentucky, man. You can't come in here and it's just, you can't do that, man. It's not about just one player. It's about all of them.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you on every aspect that you're bringing. But I've always kind of been on LeVar's side on everything that he does.
Not another one, man. No, come on.
Just hear me out on this. So, at the time when he was calling out MJ, calling out, Magic Johnson or whoever else he was calling out, he started a brand called Big Baller Brand, selling a $250 shoe, right?
That's garbage.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him. I haven't worn him. I don't know anybody that has him. But
point taken. You don't know anyone that has them, so they can't be that good.
But listen here, he was on ESPN. He was on First Take. He was on PTI talking about Big Baller Brand for free because he called out MJ. He said, "My son is the best shooter in the NBA." Like. He did all that to get his brand out. Now he has a multi-million-dollar brand that he has, and he has a status of like, what are you going to say next? He kind of has that Charles Barkley effect, like, hey,
dude,
like,
his son.
I don't know what you're going to say next, so I'm going to keep my camera on you.
His son has the ugliest jump shot that I've ever seen in my life.
Like, I shoot better than him.
Yeah, man. I would rather watch Charles Barkley play 18 holes of golf than watch that guy shoot a basketball. It's horrible.
No way. Charles Barkley's in the club makes my back hurt, man.
I mean, I would much rather watch that than watch this dude shoot a basketball. His jump shot is horrendous.
So, let's say he does come to UK and he brings the ball circus. Think about how much more time will be on ESPN. How much more money the college is going to make.
I get that. But
he's going
to
bring so much optimism to the team, so much money, so much exposure that why not? Why not bring him to like?
I get that, and yes, that's definitely a pro in this situation. It's more limelight on Kentucky basketball. But dude,
that's also a con.
Yeah, and yes, I was fixing to say it's also a con. But honestly, man, we can get the same amount of limelight, the same amount of hype, the same amount of love from fans and ESPN just by winning games and
Well,
being.
if he
I,
helps you win games, helps you get that number one recruiting class next year, and then knocks the Duke off their throne that they're on right now, I'm all for it. Bring him in.
I mean, it could work, but it also could not work. It could piss off a lot of fans, man. It really could. I for one, am one of them. I do not want to turn on Sports Center one morning and see how LeVar Ball is talking about how his son carried this team to a national title and so on and so on. If he does, yeah, that's awesome. I'm totally for that. That's totally cool. But what if it doesn't work? What if he comes in here and it just goes downhill? Then what? He's obviously not going to blame his son, but what if that's the problem?
Right. But
I mean, we could get the same amount of hype, and we've talked about this on a previous show. LeBron James's son.
right.
He would do the exact same thing.
So
He would come in here.
They're in the same class, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I would rather jump on the LeBron James hype train than LeVar Balls any day. Because
What
one,
if they
LeBron,
both came to UK?
then it's then it'll be pandemonium, man. It'll be crazy.
Would that be a class of egos happening?
I think it would. That situation would definitely be too many roosters in the hen house. I mean, that's like hell. Like look at Golden State right now. They've got their starting lineup is basically the NBA All-Star team.
Yeah, but
But
there's some inner turmoil happening there. But
exactly,
they're also professionals, and they'll come on the field and they'll perform. So
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, NBA is a completely different beast, but I mean, tomato. It's the same. It's kind of the same thing. You can't have. I mean, yeah, you can have all kinds of superstars on your team, and you cannot win a game. I mean, if they don't play to their potential, play to each other's strengths, and play as a team, and they're just out there for number one and don't care about anyone else, then it's going to be a shit show.
So before I move on to the next topic, the final topic of today's show, I'm going to ask you another question about this ball issue. Let's say LeBron James' sons and the Balls both come to UK. Do you think that does that push away other top recruits, or does that bring other top recruits in because they'll get that exposure that they're looking for?
I think it'll be a little bit of both. I mean, because think about it. Me personally, if I was a recruit coming out of high school and could basically pick, if you were good enough to pick what college you wanted to go to and play ball at, would you rather go somewhere where you're going to be that guy that everyone's going to talk about? You're going to be a hot shot on campus. You're going to be the leader of a team. You're going to be the leader of that team. Would you rather play there or go somewhere where you're playing with players that their last name's James or Ball, and you're not going to be that guy? That's.
If you are asking me that question, I would go to the same college as them. Because let's say I'm not a top recruit. Say I'm number 5 or 6 in the country. They their names are just like alone will put more eyes on my game, and more likely for scouts to see me. More likely for me to cast that check like the next year. So I'm all for it, and I would go where they went.
I don't know, man. That's iffy. I mean, I'm all for the James hype train because LeBron has proven himself. I think his kids kind of understand what it means to play ball with their dad's last name on their jersey. I mean, they don't. Man, I don't know. I'm for it bringing hype and all that. I'm for that. I'm totally for that. Any chance to get Kentucky's name in people's mouths and to get us more limelight. I'm all for that. But like I said, man, we could do that without those guys. We've done it before without those guys.
It just makes it easier with those guys here.
Yeah.
Like especially Ball. But
yeah.
It is what it is. So, Chris, let's go on and move on to the final segment of today's show. And that was a female screaming because Kentucky is on a slide right now. Football team got beat by Tennessee last week.
Yeah, we did.
It was kind of a manhandling, to be honest with you. We were down 17-0 at halftime. Even it up, in the third quarter with 7-7 scoring a piece, and final score was 24-7 at the end of the day. Really, Kentucky had all the. I don't want to say momentum because they just got beat by Georgia the previous week, but they had the momentum, because they broke the Florida streak. This was the year to break the Tennessee streak, but obviously it just didn't happen. Just what are your thoughts on this game, Chris?
It was horrible. I mean, that was probably the worst game that we've played since the Texas A&M game. I don't know if. I mean, quarterback play was not good. Was not good at all. I mean, Terry
touchdown he was 21 for 34 for 172 yards with one touchdown, one interception.
Yeah, that one interception, and then, I mean, a third quarter rolls around and Gunnar Hope comes out, and his very first pass from scrimmage was a pick. I mean, I don't know if it's not the quarterback play's not been consistent the past. I mean, 3 or 4 games.
You're right on that.
I mean,
100%.
Terry is obviously the quarterback of this team, so we need to ride Terry out. Mistakes or not, we can't. I think bringing Gunnar in kind of, I don't know, it kind of maybe it puts a bad taste in Terry's mouth, and he's not playing to his full potential. I don't know. Where in the hell did our running game go? Where has it been?
Well,
it has completely fallen off the map.
The offensive line has played bad the last 3 or 4 games.
They played horrible,
and there is a fatigue. There's a fatigue factor there.
And I get that. Man. I totally get that.
If you don't have the depth in the SEC, I mean, as much as I dog on the SEC, saying it's Alabama and then like everybody else, the SEC is still a pretty deep conference this year. You have Florida, you have LSU, you have Georgia, Texas A&M,
Auburn.
Yeah, if you really look back and think about it, they've actually had a fairly rough schedule. Mean what they played a Florida team. Mississippi State at the time, I believe they were 19th.
They were ranked.
South Carolina, they aren't horrible, but they're a mediocre. I believe they're 5-4. Texas A&M at the time was ranked 19th or 18th.
Yeah.
And Vanderbilt even was pretty good.
Right. I mean, I was going to say, with the exception of Vandy, we had a very tough SEC schedule.
And Vanderbilt's pretty. They have gotten the wrong end of the stick on like a lot of games. They are 4-6 or 4-7. I think they only have 1 win in conference, maybe 2 wins. But
they're bottom of the barrel with Arkansas.
Yeah, but you also have to look who they played. Vanderbilt played a Fighting Irish team. They only lost to them by 4 or 5 points. They played Georgia at the time. They were number 2, only lost by 28 points to them. And number 14 ranked Florida the very next week lost by 10. Then they played another 14 ranked Kentucky, lost by 7. So they had 4 out of their 5 games in a row were against ranked opponents in the top 15 in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a solid team. So
and I know people are I mean, I've had a couple friends that are like, "Oh man, the season's over. This was a horrible season, lost season, blah blah blah." No, no, it was not. This season, football wise, I mean, was great for us. We were relevant. We're in the top 25. Which honestly, at the beginning of the year, if you'd have told me that we were going to beat Florida,
which you called, congratulations.
I mean, yeah, which I called, but still,
Let's give you a round of applause for that one.
Yeah, thank you. But still, if you'd have told me at the beginning of the year, going into the Georgia game, that the winner of that game wins the SEC East, I'd have told you were smoking crack.
Right.
I mean, we've got to, as football fans, I mean, we've got to find some kind of silver lining in this season. And this has been one of the best Kentucky football seasons that we've had in a while. I'm totally fine. I'm fine. Okay, I'm not fine with losing to Tennessee. I wish we would have ended that streak, but I mean, it happens. We're at the end of the season. It is a hard
place to play. There's 90,000 people there.
You're right.
In that crummy
Middle State, that is not an easy stadium to go to and win at. I mean, case in point, we have not won in Knoxville since the 80s.
Yeah, I believe it was 89 the last time they won there.
Yeah. I mean, so it's not like it's an easy place to play. It's not. It is definitely not. I do not see us having any problem getting it done against Middle Tennessee State, and we're for sure not going to have any problem beating Louisville. Louisville is. I'm not even worried about that game. We could play second string, and we're still going to win that game. All right, so we're going to end this season with these 2 wins. We're going to stay in the top 25, and we're going to get a decent bowl game. As long as it's not the Music City Bowl or the Liberty Bowl, which seems to be the only bowls that they pick Kentucky to play in, I'm fine with that. Yes, it'd be awesome to finally play in a New Year's Six bowl. I mean, that would be cool. I was kind of hoping that if we'd have beat Tennessee, I saw us playing the Outback Bowl against the Big Ten team. I don't know what Big Ten team, but
I think they had it projected as Ohio State, actually.
Yeah, and that I would have loved that because we probably would have beat them. Ohio State is – people are way too high up on Ohio State. They are not that good. They are really not that good, and Michigan's going to prove that here in a couple of weeks when that number one defense rolls into Columbus and manhandles Ohio State. I'm just going to sit back and giggle. I mean, because it's people. I don't know why, man, but it's always seems like Ohio State. People get up on the bandwagon and think that they're so good and whatnot, and really they're not. They are not that good. I am extremely happy with Kentucky football season. If we end the year inside the top 25, I'm fine with that because honestly, if you end the season in the top 25, then that's going to make you relevant for the next year. So next year we should start the season. In theory, yes. But next year we should start in the top 25. If not in the top 25, we're easily going to be a top 30 football team.
Yeah,
now,
pretty darn close.
Right. And I mean, this is a young team. Let's not forget that, people. This is a young football team. Yeah, we're going to lose a couple players.
CJ Conrad's going to be the biggest loss, I feel.
Yes. CJ is going to be the biggest loss. But Cash Daniels is a sophomore or a junior.
Right.
He's coming back. I mean, he's the backbone of our defense. Who's the other guy? I can't even think of his name right now.
The guy that got tossed for targeting last week.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name either right now.
I cannot think of his name. He's probably our best defensive player, to be honest with you. He's probably
Yep.
Yeah, and he's young. He's coming back. Terry, he'll probably come back next year. We're going to lose an offensive lineman or two, but we're not going to have to reload that much. We should still have a very talented football team next year.
We should be even have 2 strings that are able to keep up with the 1 strings as well. So depth wise fatigue isn't going to hurt us.
Exactly. Depth wise, we're going to be in a much better position next year. And has next year's football schedule come out? I think it has.
I don't know,
but I haven't even looked at it or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm living day by day, man. Day by day.
Right. Day by day. Day at a time, baby. Day at a time. Living the dream. But I think this football team is going to be better next year. I mean, yes, this year was a banner year for us. We beat Florida. We got that monkey off our back. But I think next year, man, we're going to get a couple more monkeys off our back. We're going to beat Tennessee. I know it's not going to be in Knoxville, whatever, but we're going to beat them. We're going to be relevant again next year. I mean, I'm super proud of this team, man.
So I understand we're all happy, if we finish a 9-3 season and we go to a decent bowl game, and we need to win that game.
Yes, we do
as well. And that put us at that 10-3 mark on the season, which is not a horrible season by no means whatsoever.
Not for Kentucky, man. Not for Kentucky.
I would say not for anybody. If you are in a Power 5 conference and you finish 10-3, you're having a pretty good season.
Yeah, any team with a 10-win season, you're having a good season. That's a good year,
right? But these last 3 games, I want to say, even going back to the Vanderbilt game. So let's go to the last 4 games. There's an issue with the offensive coordinator. I don't know if he's trying to be like, hey, it's my way or the highway, but Terry Wilson is an up-pace quarterback. You need him. You need to get him in the groove. They need to run that. Like
that up tempo.
Yeah, a up tempo. A screen or a read offense. Something just to get him going, just so he's not. Using 35 seconds on the play clock and having to think about his pass that he just threw a incomplete pass.
Right.
Give him 10, 15 seconds, get back up to with the line, let him call a play as he sees and then goes. He kind of alluded that after the Missouri game. He's like, hey, I'm ready to run a up-pace offense, and then they did run that a little bit at the end of the Missouri game. And they went and scored the winning touchdown. So obviously that offense fits Terry Wilson very, very well.
Yes, it does.
Now to go to your point of putting Gunnar Hoke in there. I think the offensive coordinator or even Stoops is putting Gunnar Hoke in there just to say, see, this is why he is not the starter. They've been throwing him in there for a couple series. He looks like trash, and they're saying like, see, this is why we're sticking with Terry. That's the only reason why I think they're putting Gunnar Hoke in there, just to appease the fans, just to shut up the
naysayers.
Yeah, the naysayers saying, hey, this is why Gunnar Hoke isn't our guy, and it won't hurt my feelings if he transfers to South Carolina or Tennessee or wherever he wants to go at the end of the year.
Yeah.
If he even goes, because come to think of it, Terry and Gunnar are both the same age. I believe they're both sophomores.
Yep.
And I believe Gunnar redshirted his first year here. So Gunnar only has 2 years left, after this year. So if he wants to play at all, he's going to have to transfer, because Stoops and the offensive coordinator have made it clear that Terry is their guy.
Yeah.
But looking forward to the off season here, the offensive coordinator either need to adjust his philosophy, run that up pace tempo offense, or he needs to go. So,
I agree with you, man. I do not understand how. Because if you watch the first 5 games of our season, that's basically it. You've got Terry running. It's not a super up tempo offense, but it's fast enough to keep him from having to make crazy quick decisions and
you
so
also
on.
had Snell rushing for 120, 130 yards a game, though, as well.
That and Terry ran. Terry ran a lot. I don't understand where he has fallen off with running the ball.
He could be tired too,
I get that.
I don't know. Like they played 10 games. They've been practicing since May, June. This is the
meat of the season.
Of the season. They're struggling to get these last 2 weeks, and then they're off for a month, and then they're going to play a bowl game. So,
yep.
But like we've alluded to, we do play Middle Tennessee this coming Saturday at 12 p.m. The game is on the SEC Network channel. I made a statement earlier this year that I thought this was going to be a trap game for Kentucky.
You still think that, big guy?
I still think it's going to be a trap game because if you look at this Middle Tennessee State team, they played a Western Kentucky team that should have beat a Louisville team. Yes, Louisville is not good, but
they're a dumpster fire.
But they are still in a Power 5 conference, and they did beat. I don't even know what division Middle Tennessee State's in. What are they in, the Sun Belt or something like that? Or
I think it's Sun Belt, yeah. No, yeah, it's either Sun Belt or Conference USA.
But either way, this is a conference that shouldn't be any good, basically. Right. But this Middle Tennessee State team, they are 7-3. They beat the Western Kentucky team soundly by a team that should have beat Louisville, even though Louisville is horrible. But if Louisville was in that conference, they would be 8-2, 9-1 even. Like, who knows? But at the end of the day, Kentucky's not going to lose this game. But it is going to be like another one of those Missouri games where we have to drive late, where we have to do something crazy to win the game. 24-21 type of score. But it's just, this is that trap game where they're just struggling to get through. They're looking forward to the rivalry game next week or the following week, and it's just, it's the end of the season, it's going to be a tough game for them, whether Kentucky fans want to admit it or not. So what are your thoughts on this game?
This game's going to be a blowout. It's not even going to be close.
Blowout.
Not even close. Kentucky's going to win by at least 20.
What's your final score?
I'm going to go... Let's go 20... No. I don't know, maybe. They might not beat them by 20. We'll say final... 34-10, maybe 34-17. Barring any kind of crazy injuries or anything like that, this defense is not going to have any problem taking care of that. I mean, honestly, man, defensively, I'm not worried. I'm worried about our offense because, we've been slow. But maybe this is going to be one of those games that maybe this is the game that our offense gets back on track.
Hopefully.
We get back to the bread and butter, which is feeding the ball to Benny and letting him run, 150, 175 yards, whatever, and a couple scores.
I even wouldn't mind seeing AJ Rose.
Me either, man. And I wouldn't mind seeing Terry. Terry, if you look, that one interception he had against Tennessee, he did not have. It was a very, very tight window to fit that ball in. I don't even think the great Tom Brady could have made that throw. He should have.
Brady's trash.
Oh, whatever. That's another show, man. Come on. But he needs to not. He's trying to force the ball into windows that he can't do. I hate saying that, and I know he doesn't want to hear that because anybody doesn't want to hear that.
He's probably doing that because he's looking over his shoulder because he knows Gunnar Hoke is going to come in.
Is chomping at the bit right behind him. You're right.
Which is the coaching fault there for even entertaining that idea in the middle of the season. If they wanted to entertain that idea, they should have done that against Murray State or whoever else was an early game that was just a blowout, But whatever.
You're right, but his decision making, I'd like to see that get a little bit better. Stop trying to force the ball, run the ball. The guy's got legs; he can run. He's very fast. We've seen that the first 5 games of the season. The guy can run. He reminds me a lot of Denard Robinson. Denard did not have the best arm, was not the best quarterback, but man, when that dude could run, I mean, his very first play from scrimmage was a 66-yard touchdown. He fumbled the snap, picked it up, dusted the ball off, and nobody touched him.
Right.
He took off. And Denard was a lot like that. He would try to fit balls into windows that he couldn't do. But when he would not do that, he would make a good decision to tuck the ball and run. He was either scoring or getting close to scoring. Now, Terry does not have the speed that Denard had, but he's fast, and he is a talented football player. I would like to see his decision-making get a lot better. And if he can fix that phase of his game, then he doesn't need to look over his shoulder anymore. He will be the starting quarterback of that team, barring an injury, regardless. It's just little mistakes like that kind of put that little tick mark in the, okay, well, we're looking at gunner box. And I know he doesn't want to do that. I'd like to see him run the ball a little more and not try to make these crazy throws that get picked off pretty much every time. He's got to protect the football, man. You cannot win games. I don't care if it's a big game or a game like this against Middle Tennessee State. You've got to protect the football. You've got to. You can't make turnovers and expect to win a football game. You can't make turnovers in any sport and expect to win a game. You just can't do that.
And you're absolutely right, Chris. And I couldn't agree more on everything that you said there. Just to end the show here, what would you rather see from this Saturday's game? Would you rather see Snell go for 150 yards on the ground, or would you rather see Terry go for 250, 300 yards in the air? What would you rather see? What would give you positive thoughts for the week coming ahead?
I would rather see Terry play well, only because he is the quarterback. He's the captain of this team. He leads this team. If he plays good, that will reflect on everyone else. We all know that the caliber and type of player that Benny Snell is. I mean, he is hands down the best running back in the SEC East. So we don't have.
From earlier this year, Snell is the best running back on the planet.
Well, according to him, but we know his potential and how good of a football player that Benny is.
Right.
We need to see that happen with Terry. Terry needs to have that one game where he's just balls out.
Everything clicks.
You're right, and then that will build his confidence level. And when your quarterback plays more confidently and so on and so forth, I mean, you should know this. You're a high school ball coach. I mean, your quarterback plays good, your guys are going to step up and play just as good and try to play to the same caliber. I would rather see Terry just have a great game to build his confidence and to build the team's confidence in him going into the Louisville game. I mean, yeah, we don't really need that much confidence to play this crappy-ass Louisville team because, Girl Scout Troop 228 could beat this Louisville team. I mean, that's not saying much.
Without horse tranquilizers.
That's right. But we all want to see Louisville lose.
Right.
If you're a Kentucky fan, you do. But I want to see Terry play to his potential, have a great game, build that confidence up, get in that stride, as you could say or put it or whatever, and if he does that, I think that will lead to a great week of practice. That'll lead to a confident week of practice. His coaches will have more confidence in him, and then we should absolutely have no problem beating Louisville. And then that will build more confidence going into our bowl game, whichever bowl game we get, and whoever our opponent's going to be. I'm really looking forward to it, man. I think we're not going to have a problem with these last two games. I'm not even going to knock on wood because I don't need to. We're going to finish the year strong. We're going to get us a really good bowl game and play, and then we'll just go from there, man.
All right, and I'm going to have to echo everything that you said. So just to wrap up the show here, fans, there are over 1,200 tickets left for sale. They're going for $13 a piece. Why are you fans not supporting the football team? Come on now. I definitely understand it is basketball season. It's cold outside. Saturday's supposed to be 55 degrees and sunny. Spend the $13 and get a ticket. Go support these cats. Come on.
So road trip to Lexington Saturday?
Let me talk to the wife, and we'll see what we can do.
Let's kick that idea around, man. I'm totally
Uh,
down for that.
All right, I will ask her as soon as the show's over here, and we'll I'll give her a little back massage and butter her up, and we'll be on the road. But guys, as always, thanks for joining Chris and I on here on the Big Blue Breakdown. Be sure to follow the podcast. Share this with a couple friends. We all have a few friends. Just copy the link on your Facebook page. Let them know that you love the boys. You know, we're always having fun. Any final words, Chris, before we end the show?
No, man. I just want to say to everybody out there in La La Land that is listening to us and that has continued to listen to us, big thank you. This is all new to me, and it has been great to do this. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and the more you guys listen, the more you share, the bigger we get, the better it's going to get. So just thank you to everybody that listens to us, and just stick with us because we're going to get better at it, and the show's going to get better, and I can't really wait to see what the future's got in store for us, man. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, and we'll catch you then. Go Cats!